This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is The List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
You are listening to The List Building Lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition, and this is a very special episode. Igor, I don't know if you had this growing up, but over here we had pagers growing up, little beepers like the doctors use, and 143 meant I love you. So this is the I love you episode for the list builders.
Oh, wow. Oh, sweet. Well, I only seen pagers when I grew up. On the TV, because I grew up in Ukraine and we used to watch all your guys, TV shows like sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely saw pagers, but I didn't have one. I didn't have one for sure.
I don't even know why I needed one, but I had to have one when I was young. So what do you have in store for us today?
Well, today, unlike the previous couple of episodes where we spoke mostly about how to integrate, SoloAds and Facebook and then we're like all of that stuff together into one ecosystem. Today I want to be way more specific and talk about something that's not quite pleasant, because it is probably the biggest nightmare any list builder can experience. And of course, I'm talking about having your Autoresponder account shut down, completely shut down. Okay, and so I had a couple of them shut down actually earlier this week, but I'm okay because I have 10 different ones. So I no longer put all my eggs in one basket. But for somebody who's just getting started, that's a big problem. And it happened to one of my clients recently. He had an Aweber list he just started building. It was going well, making sales. The list is, grown, responsive, and they shut him down, okay, because he's got growing too fast. And in fact, and it was also my fault because I was the one sending him traffic. So anyway, He basically started messaging me when it was morning my time, but it was middle of the night for him. He could not fall asleep. He had, heart racing, really just feeling lots of pressure, anxiety. And then we're talking about a guy who's a grown up, right? Not just an 18-year-old who hasn't experienced anything in life. We're talking about a guy who has a family and who's seen a bunch of things in life, who's really wise and, well, I don't want to say old, but he's way older than me. So he shouldn't be as easily shaken as somebody like me. Like back in the day when I got my first one shut down, I was only 19 years old. Okay. So, but it was really difficult for him to deal with. And I did my best to help him through it. And we got him restarted on a different autoresponder after that. But the whole experience was really, really painful. And I forgot what it's like. I really forgot what it's like because my first experience was when I had, it was called Imnica Mail. They're still around, although their delivery, there's better companies out there who deliver much better. But Imnica, I started Imnica back then, and I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I was doing a lot of blackhead stuff too, like pretending to mail as someone who I wasn't, and doing a lot of, questionable.
With the eyebrow raised.
Yeah. Lots of questionable stuff, which I'm happy to admit now, but back in the day I wouldn't even admit it. But and I was doing a lot of volume with Imnica Mail, and all of a sudden I log in and I get this notice saying your account is suspended. And they won't tell me why, they won't let me get back in. And so this account was responsible for about 70% of my traffic and 70% of my affiliate sales, because at the time I was heavily relying on affiliate marketing. Man, I just flipped. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to have sex. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. Okay, my own, all I was thinking about is what the hell am I doing now? That's it. My career in internet marketing is over.
Wow.
Okay, especially since they wouldn't even give me my leads back.
They didn't give you couldn't get the CSV. Oh, crap.
So now that I remember that experience, thanks to my friend reminding me, I decided that it was about time we do something like this. We do an episode about what can you do if you have your Autoresponder account shut down. What kind of steps can you take? Is this the end of the world? Or, are we just, or is it just a bigger issue than it seems.
It's time to get your day job back. Is that so? Yeah, let's talk about that, man. I know you have an agenda here, so I don't want to derail you, but the first thing I think about is backing up your leads. Are people doing that? Or I mean, is that possible with Aweber?
Well, yeah, of course. You can do it every day. You can back up your CSV file, and CSV basically means you download all your list in one easy to access file. And you should definitely do that every single day. And the more your list grows, the more important it becomes for you to do something like that. But I wanted to start with just sharing with you that anyone who's an aggressive marketer who makes money and who's doing internet marketing for a while had their account shut down. Chances are more than one time. Okay, and you can tell that by the way big internet marketers switch autoresponder accounts all the time. Like, so I've been following Frank Kern since 2010 or 2011. Since then, he switched 6 different autoresponders.
Wow.
He used Infusionsoft. He used Aweber. He used, it was a self-hosted one, ARP Reach, I think. He used SMTP services. Like, he used a bunch of different ones. And the reason for that is because eventually they either stop delivering or they ban you. Russell Brunson, when I was at the most recent ClickFunnels event, he shared that he had 3 SMTP.com accounts shut down. He had 2 Infusionsoft accounts shut down, 4 Awebers, 5 get responses, like crazy numbers, like constant contacts and stuff like that. So having your email autoresponder shut down, especially if you're an internet marketer, meaning that you're selling internet marketing related stuff, is very likely to happen. The bigger you grow, the more likely it is to happen. For instance, if you're using MailChimp right now and you decide at one point to email an affiliate link, you will get shut down because MailChimp does not like affiliate marketers. So, for instance, Mike Dillard, right, he can use MailChimp because he's promoting himself and himself only. And he doesn't even mention money or anything like that most of the time. He's just mailing out content. So that means that he's safe. But the moment he starts promoting something else, which is a huge list, and he's got a huge list, right, the moment he emails an affiliate link, he's going to get shut down just like the rest of us. So my point is this. Rather than being afraid of it, expect it. Expect it to happen. And so the first step to take, of course, is to always back up your list. And usually, most of the time, but it's not guaranteed, if you've been shut down, then they actually have to give you your list back.
They do.
Yes. Unless they don't.
What? Wait, what?
So there's I don't recall who said that, but there's supposedly a rule that they have to. But sometimes they don't. And it really depends on the support rep you're talking to when you've been shut down. So, for instance, when Aweber shut me down most recently, which most recently means about a year ago, that was the last time they shut me down. I had an email account, an Aweber account, with over 100,000 leads in it. Not only that, of course, but keep in mind that a lot of the emails too, my follow-up sequences, my broadcasts, a lot of the stuff that I've been using, all that stuff, web form statistics, everything shut down and gone. And I called them up on the phone and I begged them to export my stuff and give it back to me. They wouldn't.
Wow.
And the most recent export I had from that list was from 3 months ago, which means it was basically useless now.
Yeah.
Because my list is very active. So do as I say, not as I do, and back up your list every single day. The other thing you can do when you get shut down, if you had the opportunity to get your list back, is to import that list into a different autoresponder company. Now, you have to be careful about 2 things. A, not to start working with somebody who doesn't deliver, right? So if you're signing up with an autoresponder company that has really poor delivery rates, you're better off just not signing up at all.
How do you know that, though? How do you know their delivery rates?
Well, ask somebody who has experience. So when my VIP client who got his Aweber shut down, had to choose a new autoresponder company, then, well, I had to tell him what to use, and he wanted to go with somebody who wasn't delivering well, and I stopped him from it. So that's one thing. The second thing to watch out for is for them not to make you to reconfirm your list.
I don't like that.
So, yeah. So in other words, an autoresponder company can ask each and every single one of your subscribers that you're importing as a CSV file to click a confirmation link, which means they email them and they say, oh, so and so wants to add you to their list. Click this link to confirm. Ignore this email if you don't want to get added to the list. Now, when that happens, less than 3% will confirm.
Ah, that's terrible.
And it doesn't matter what kind of relationship you've got with the list. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's their crappy email.
Yeah.
It's not even like you can change the copy on it or anything. It's some shit that looks like spam coming through, and they're I'm already on Igor's list. Why do I have to click this?
Yeah, or who's Igor? Yeah.
No way. 15 emails in the first 7 days. They know who Igor is.
So anyway, make sure you don't you're not forced to reconfirm, because that would be bad. And so once you start over, you kind of just have to begin emailing them immediately. And the faster you can actually pull this off, the better. Usually it can be done within a day. You have to keep emailing them every day. You can't start telling them and apologizing or whatever, or say something like, oh, I haven't been emailing you for a while, or I had just had to move you or whatever, right? You just carry on as if nothing happened. Okay. And so this is pretty much all you can do. Okay. This is pretty much all you can do when it comes to getting your email list restored. So I guess the biggest tip I can give you regarding getting shut down is really just not panic when it happens, because it will happen to you and you have to move on to another autoresponder, which of course brings me to a prevention tip, right? It's not going to basically fix anything, but it's going to help you deal with the problem later on, where you want to have either one or two backup autoresponder accounts ready to go, where you also build a little bit of a list into them and you warm them up, so it doesn't so your account doesn't go from 0 to 10,000 subscribers and just high volumes, because that's bad. Autoresponder accounts do not like spikes. We found that out, the hard way. They do not like it when you go from standstill to 100,000 subscribers or something like that, very, very quickly, and increasing your volume suddenly. They don't like that. With autoresponder companies, you have to grow subtly. So it basically means that adding a certain amount of subscribers per day without exploding it too much. Because, there's stories out there. I had a VIP member who was really heavy into weight loss niche, and he was doing an IM business on the side. So they launched a product in the weight loss niche, and they use GetResponse as their autoresponder. Now, they've been using this account for a long time. I'm talking them having about 4,000 buyers, 40,000, regular subscribers. And all of a sudden, they're doing this launch, and midway through the launch, they get shut down.
Oh, gosh.
Why? Because of the spike. GetResponse doesn't like that. Bam, shut them down. So watch out for the spikes, okay? That's one of the triggers. Also, watch out for list hygiene, okay? Really, if your list hygiene is bad, they will shut you down, which is why it is recommended that every now and again, maybe once a month or something like that, you export your list from whichever company you're using, and then you run it through a list cleaning service and then get it back up. In fact, it is best if you can reach out to your autoresponder account and say, hey, what I want to do is I want to export the list and then clean it and then import it back in. Is it okay for me to do that? Will you be able to do that without me having to reconfirm? And most autoresponder companies like that. They actually appreciate you more for it, so they will agree to do it, and you will end up much better off avoiding being banned for quote-unquote bad leads or whatever.
I have a personal question here. What is a list cleaning service, and which one do you recommend if you want to share that on the air?
Well, considering that I have something better than the list cleaning service at this point, where I filter my leads in real time.
Yeah.
So anyone, they just can't opt in with a fake email into my system. But before I had it, of course, I had to use the list cleaning service. And honestly, I did not find any difference between one list cleaning service to another.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't. So, just Google something like that,
Okay.
List cleaning service, remove spam traps, remove bounces from my list or some stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Good enough. One of the things that I know that we've talked about on the show in several episodes was how you remove the people who aren't active. So this is in addition to removing the people who aren't active, removing a bunch of crappy email addresses, right?
Yes, exactly. Because crappy email addresses, dead emails that bounce, either hard bounce or soft bounce, all of these contribute to negative score to your account.
The last time we talked about this, I removed thousands of people from my email list, so it might be happening again.
Yeah.
I want good hygiene on my list. So any other tips? I like the idea of going in and planning and preparing for this to happen. Having a backup in place is another thing that you said. Keep the list clean. And then with the backup that you have in place, you want to already be using that or mailing them so you don't get a spike. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. You definitely want to keep the momentum going. And, when I talk about spikes, I mean about your size, right? Don't go from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. Do a gradual.
Got it. All right. So it's not necessarily a spike in your sending volume, but a spike in your actual lead volume?
Yeah, that too. Yep.
Okay. Got it. Any other tips you want to share on this one?
No tips. No more tips.
You're not getting any more. Join the Igor's VIP program to get the real stuff, right? All right, fair enough. So then this is a little bit shorter edition of the List Building Lifestyle Show, which is good for your health so you can go out and do work. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, List Builders, for tuning in. We'll be back with you next time.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.